Okay, so when we talk with the Crystal Exarch again, he will give us the option of choosing to go on a quest to find one of the two twins. But we're not going to do that just yet. And there's a reason for that. Let's head back out of the ocular. So, yeah, you'll now see, once we have done the quest to get to that point to know where the scions are, there are now a whole set of quests that are available for us for side quests. This only happens once you have reached a certain part of the main story. So, as it stands right now, we're going to go ahead and take on all these side quests that have opened up, and we're going to see how many people we can give a hand to. So, let's go ahead and be on our way. Plus, also give us an opportunity to check out more of the city. Because, yeah, we've only seen just a small part of it to this point. So let's go around the horn and begin taking side quests by speaking with Pitrig and taking on his quest entitled Rate and Review. Pitrig is eyeing your empty hand. Oh, you're the Crystal Exarch's guest, aren't you? Quick, take this. Ah, I got you. Now, I just need you to do this brief survey for me. It will only take a few moments of your time. Would you like to take a survey? Speak to the people on that list and then return here and tell me your thoughts on the current state of the Crystarium. Your cooperation is appreciated. So yeah, he wants us to go visit 4 different people scattered all over the place. So let's go ahead and find these 4 people. Yeah, starting with Rosard over here in the ballistics department. Hello there, sir. Good day, sir. What brings you here? Well, we need to tell you and ask you about this. A survey, is it? In that case, I shall gladly tell you about our facility. Here in ballistics, we store and maintain the weaponry used in the defense of the Crystarium. Before you see our pride and joy, the crystal cannons. Yeah, they use actual crystal energy for their ballistics. These truly inspiring pieces of artillery unleash blasts of pure aether drawn from the crystal itself. The destructive power they boast will even obliterate most Cinder Eaters if you can believe it. It's slightly unfortunate that they're so difficult to aim, I'll admit, but that's nothing that the addition of a few more cannons can't solve. Just try to dodge a dozen of different blasts coming in your general direction, you creepy bastards. That's the idea anyway. I suppose I should let you get on with touring the other facilities, but if you have any more questions, you know where to find me. Alright, so satisfied with speaking with him, let's head on upstairs. Now we have to go up a few staircases here. And once we do so, we can speak with this encumbered Amaro Tamer. Roped into one of Pigtrig's surveys, were you? I'll try to keep this brief then, for both of our sakes. And anyway, you're likely already aware that Amaro, vital in the distribution and transport of goods, fleet and hardy as they are. They can't transport as much in one go as a chocobo-drawn carriage, of course. The time saved by the ability to fly more than makes up for that. There's no faster way to get something to the settlements and fortifications in Lakeland than by Amaro, that's for certain. You stand now in the primary area for loading goods for transport, and as you can see, the launch platform extends behind me. If you want the Amaro to carry you, rather than a parcel, that can be arranged here as well. You need only speak to the tamers at the counter. In fact, if you've not yet had the opportunity to ride an Amaro, I wholeheartedly recommend that you do so while here. It's more comfortable than it looks, owing to the softness of the coats. Take that as my parting advice to you. And so, yeah, you may have noticed, this is actually our first instance of finding a Mikote. Or in this case, they're known here in the first as Mistel. Which, quite honestly, I would have preferred if they called them Mistal with an A instead of an E. But either way, I prefer Mikote better. Mikote just sounds cuter. So let's go ahead and attune to this Aetherite. Yeah, you'll see how much this is benefiting us. So now we head on over this way. So we now have Aetherite net access to the Amaro launch. And then we'll run down over here. Yeah, that person with the red mark has, is the person who you can do crafting and gathering with. So we'll go ahead and drop down here. Got some other things we can attune to this aetheryte. And so now we have attuned to all of the Aethernet shards here in the Crystarium. So now let's go ahead and speak with Zell Guanlu, who is one of this location's version of the Amalja. So let's go and speak with him. This is Temenos Rookery, where we breed, raise, and train beasts of burden. You might have noticed that the staff is primarily Zun. That is because, as a formerly nomadic tribe, the Zun developed the majority of the techniques for moral husbandry that are still in practice today, and many of us are trained in them from an early age. I personally pride myself not only on knowledge of my trade, but also the ability to impart it to others. It is much easier to learn something than to teach it, but unless each of us makes the effort to do both, all our ancestors strove for will someday be lost to time. And so we can come back to him for a side quest later. So we'll go ahead and attune, or rather touch the aetheryte over here, and head back to the Cabinet of Curiosity to get the final person we need to speak to for this quest. And yeah, there's also someone else up here as well we can take a quest from. Yeah, we'll be seeing this a lot. So we want to speak with Shantilda. Oh, can I assist you in locating a particular volume? Actually, I need to talk to you about this. Pitrix sent you to learn of the Cabinet of Curiosity? Very well, I shall endeavor to grant you insight into its purpose. The many books that surround you have been collected from every corner of Novrant. Tomes of philosophy, history, art, but also fairy tales and personal memoirs. Any written work, regardless of its level of sophistication or monetary value, is a significant, if small, portion of our collective knowledge, and that knowledge as a whole is what the cabinet contains. Of course, there are others far more versed in the depths and breadth of the collection than I. Have you spoken with Moren? Yep, already did. Excellent. Well, if you are ever interested in pursuing tomes pertaining to a particular subject, either he or I would be more than happy to assist you. And for our part, we will welcome the addition of any volumes that you may happen upon during your travels. Alright, so with that done, let's go back to Pitrig. If we can find our way back out. So open the door and go back to where he was, near the Docile Gate. So let's go ahead and speak with him to complete the first side quest. You returned, so tell me, how do you find the Crystarium thus far? I'm impressed by its facilities or the facilities it houses. I think its people are remarkably conscientious. I'm neither satisfied nor dissatisfied. Let's make them happy, shall we? As am I. They are the fruit of many years of laborious effort on the part of the citizenry. Here in the Crystarium, everyone contributes to bettering the city. One of my own roles, by the by, is to conduct research for the Settlement Council. We want our work to reflect community values and address outstanding areas of need, and the opinions of those who are newly come to the city are always valuable in that respect. On behalf of the Council, I thank you for taking the time to respond, and I assure you that your personal information will be kept strictly confidential. And so we'll get 230,000 experience points from him and 606 skill. And thus our first side quest is done. So where shall we go next? How about the Crystalline Mean, or even the Immoral Lodge actually might be even better. But there's another quest I can do that's also right next door to it. Yeah, so why don't we go over here and speak with this astute artisan and see what they have for us. With a quest entitled, A Fitting Challenge. The astute artisan is openly staring. Pardon me for staring. I couldn't help but notice that you have the posture of one who has trained in martial techniques. Might I beg your assistance with a small matter? A friend of mine has recently joined the guard, you see. I was hoping to put my skills to work in crafting her armor more durable than the standard issue fare, but she's already been stationed out in Lakeland. I have the measurements, of course, but I find myself unsure of which parts of the garment will need to be reinforced, and which will need to hang a bit loose for mobility's sake. Would you be willing to demonstrate a few common stances for me? Alright. In that case, could you begin by showing me your usual battle stance? So yeah, we have to pose for her to move this along. Starting with our battle stance. Yeah, this is how Dragoons do it. Yeah, just don't get impaled. I may need to add a bit more around the shoulders. Would you mind throwing a few punches as well, as if you were boxing? And so we gotta speak to her while doing the boxing, which is under the special. Yeah, just like this. I see. The entire torso needs to be able to twist, and the knuckle portion of the gloves could likely use a bit more padding. I believe I understand what alterations to make. You've been a great help, thank you. I must say that what you're wearing seems quite finely made, but if you ever do find yourself in need of new equipment, come and find me. I'd be happy to offer you a reduced rate on my custom work. So yeah, a lot of these quests that you find along here are going to be rather brief, and they don't take much effort to do. So go ahead and open up the coffers on the legs, as well as the bracelet. Of course, as I said, since we're at level 70 already and already have better gear, we're not going to be using any of what you see in front of us. Alright. So now we want to... Actually, hold on. We want to go back the other side. Yeah, we want to go over here. Because that's what the next quest was that we found. Yeah, we'll just drop down and find a lot of pain and suffering as we speak with Belfort here. Let's take on his quest entitled A Cry for Help. Belfort is looking for someone with time on their hands. You there, you look as if you could use something to occupy yourself with. I received this flyer soliciting help at Spygrichurix, but I am far too busy with my own duties to contribute. It seems a shame to not at least pass it on though. They do good work here, vital work. If you're interested in offering assistance, you'll find Spygrichurix just southwest of here. Fei Han should be more than willing to explain the specific tasks that volunteering would entail. Alright, so we gotta go over this way. Yeah, Spygrichurix or Spygrichurix, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, is gonna be over here. And through this open door, we'll find Fei Han, who just happens to be Mikote. Hey there, Fei Han. You don't appear to have any gaping wounds. Are you here for a tincture, perhaps? If so, I'm afraid it will take some time to prepare. Well, we have this to give to you. You've come in answer to our plea for help? Oh, thank goodness. We don't have nearly enough manpower to keep up with the demand for poultices and restoratives at present, and I constantly feel as if I'm mere moments away from losing my wits from the stress of it. In fact, are you available to start right away? I am in urgent need of someone who might go to the Hortorium for some Dawn Fey Tail cuttings and nectar. If you're unsure of what those look like, never fear. Linnell will direct you to the correct plant. Alright, so Linnell is going to be over here. So her position is going to be right next to the crystalline mean. Very melodramatic for a quiet commencement theme. Well, I guess when you put it that way. Alright, so we want to go over... I just want to make sure I'm going the right way here. Because yeah, I do still get lost in this place. And I can already see that I'm not exactly in the right spot. Yeah, there are some places that are very confusing. Yeah, I'd probably have to use the curiosity. Yeah, in fact, this is where we need to be. Yeah, the Crystal Exarch did say that a lot of the design was considered impractical. So here's Linnell. Let's go ahead and speak with her. Oh, a new assistant at Spectrex saw you. And what can I help you with today? Well, here's what we're here for. Ah, Dawn Fate Hills. Naturally, those are the brightly colored, brush-like plants that you see. I recommend you take a cutting from the tallest one. We've been quite successful encouraging their growth of late, so you needn't worry about taking what you acquire. As for the nectar, you'll need to ask one of the researchers at the cauldron for that. It's a bit too difficult for an amateur to extract. Since it seems that it's your first time encountering them, it may interest you to hear that the Dawn Fate Hill is one of the few plants to have survived from the time before the flood. Which explains why it's there so green, as opposed to all the other plants and trees out there that are so purple. Then, they were kept solely for their beauty, which I agree is quite remarkable. In the time since the flood, however, we've experimented with various cultivars to intensify their healing properties, and they are now used in a variety of medicines. I hope that gives you a bit of an appreciation for the sort of work done here, though I apologize for the digression. I'm sure you'll be wanting to be getting back to Spectrex as soon as possible. Now we need to get the Dawn Fate Hill Nectar by going behind the fascinating bubbling pot and speak with Rapt Researcher. Hey, can I ask you for something? From Spectrex, are you? One moment, please. This is a crucial moment for observing the results of this experiment. Yeah, what are we looking at here? Oh, wow! The staff is moving. There appears to be very little difference in how these fertilizer components interact, so it's a delicate balance. So perhaps our measurements were off, but we should also consider whether it's the temperature that's causing the problem. Yeah, you can even see it boiling in there too. Oh well, Fate's Hill Nectar was it? Here you are. Have care that you put it to good use. And then from the Dawn Fate Hill, yeah, got ourselves a cutting of that. And we can take it back where it needs to go. And so we'll be heading back on up. We gotta make use of this Safety Net shard. Yeah, you see how closely those two were close, how close those two were together? Alright, so let's run on back over. And we'll give what Feihan requires to him. Yeah, there he is. Okay, that's a weird name. Also, I did not know that double dashers are now allowed in names. Welcome back. Doubly so if you have what we need. Here you go. Perfect. I'm sure we'll be putting this to use right away. The patients haven't stopped coming, that's for certain. Our work can be grueling, I admit. It is for that reason that we many who arrive with a mind to join our ranks find themselves quitting soon after. Thus are we so perpetually wanting for personnel. It's worth work doing though, and I was glad to have your help with it today. Thank you. And thus we'll take his experience. And Gil. Alright, where shall we go next? Well, probably I want to go back over to the cabinet. If for no other reason than to take the quest that was located there. So we'll go ahead and do that one next. And so back into the cabinet, where Anthrobert is standing right at the bottom. So let's go ahead and take on his quest entitled From a Distance. Anthrobert has need of one with your particular qualifications. Pardon me, might you be the Crystal Exarch's esteemed guest? I'd like to borrow your expertise if you've a moment to spare. I believe I can. That's a boy you see who... Oh, there's a boy you see who frequents the cabinet regularly. Like so many of his peers, he has never experienced the world outside the Crystarium, and so he comes here to catch glimpses of it in pages of time-worn books. I'm certain that what he truly desires is to learn of the living, breathing world. However, the world as it is today through the eyes of one who has seen it. Might you share your experience with him? I believe you'll find him just up the stairs. Alright, so let's go ahead and speak with a curious child. Here they are. Yeah, and this is an aura, just like Shinji is.
You're from far away? Then can you tell me what the world outside is like? Pretty please?
I believe we can tell you.
Oh, then can you tell me about the animals? There are a lot, right? Father says they're all dangerous though, is that true?
Most are only dangerous if you make them mad. They're all dangerous and scary or say nothing. Yeah, only if you make them mad.
Really? Oh. What about what it looks like? Does the whole world look like Lakeland?
Pretty much trees, dirt, whatever. Some of it is more different than you can ever imagine or say nothing, but yeah, let's go with this one. Try and rally his spirits a little.
Oh, I think I understand. Then what about traveling? Mother says it's not worth it. There's nothing to see out there and it's too dangerous. But I want to go on adventures. What do you think?
It can be dangerous, but it's always worthwhile. Your mother's right, there's no point to it or say nothing. Well, considering how many adventures are Warriors of Light going on, yeah, we can tell you this.
I see.
So what's on your mind?
I'm sure now. I want to see the world. I'm going to study and practice martial arts. Then when I'm strong and clever, I'll go on an adventure.
Yeah, good to know we've boosted his confidence.
Thank you for letting me ask questions. And please tell Aunt the Bird that I'm going home. I have a lot of work to do. I wonder if Father will let me practice with his axe.
Yeah, you might have to go behind his back to do that. Alright, Aunt the Bear.
Yes, I saw him dash past, eyes twinkling. I do believe in the magic of the written word, how can I not? But it's not quite the same as meeting someone who has been there, who himself is part of the wider world. I never ventured far from the Crystarium myself, you see, so I know the wonder and fascination that comes from hearing the fireside tales of travelers. You have my personal gratitude and for sharing a bit of that with our young friend today. So his quest is now finished. Alright, where shall we go now? I'm thinking we'll want to hit up the Temenos Rookery next. So let's make our way there. And find the person we need to speak to. Yeah, we spoke with Zhao Guanlu earlier, but now he has a quest for us, so let's go ahead and take it. This quest entitled, A Dirty Trick. Zhao Guanlu looks at you, and you look at him, and he looks at you, and you look at him. You probably should ask what he wants. Is this the Old Spice commercial? That you have come here and gaze at me with such bright and eager eyes, it can only mean one thing. You, sir, are an aspiring breeder. Like, no need to be embarrassed. It is perfectly natural to take an interest in the mating habits of livestock, but those secrets are not for the uninitiated, I'm afraid. You will need to start with the basics, and that means cleaning the stables. Yeah, so we've been pulled into it, more or less. Let's go ahead and deal with this sullied straw next to these chickens. We got that taken care of. Then we'll believe we want to go in here, I think. Oh, yep, there it is. Some half-chewed herbs. So we'll go ahead and help ourselves to those. And then one more thing to find. Yeah, we can hear the animals. Yeah, which you don't often do. It's not something you often hear in Final Fantasy XIV, is the wildlife making noises, unless it's a monster that you have to put down. Yeah, there's the last thing we need, unsavory slime.
Gotta pull it out of this trough. And then we'll speak with Zell again. That's the spirit. Now take this punch and suck. It's for a Striel over in Sweet Civ. And Sweet Civ is going to be quite a bit of distance away. So yeah, I think we want to get there by using the main Aetherite. Oh, wrong way. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to take the long way around, I think. Or maybe not. Actually, we kind of do. Because, yeah, you see how it's all designed, right? Yeah, there's this huge wall in the way. And I honestly don't know if we'll be able to access it from where we currently are. Or maybe we can if we go up these stairs. And then we can take a right. So yeah, let's see if we can go through the doors. Actually, oh yes, I can. All right. Yeah, I approve of that. In fact, we probably could have stayed on the ground. Could have stayed on the ground level to get to where Striel is. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to remind myself of where everything is, because of course, this place, as weird as it is, you can be easily tricked into thinking what you need is in one place, but it's actually in another. Yeah, here she is. Alright, Striel. Hello there. Has anyone ever told you that you smell of fertilizer? That's quite a way to introduce yourself. Ah, that explains that then. Thank you. Without this rich fertilizer such as this, we'd never be able to grow the quantity of vegetables that we do. I usually provide Zelguan Lu with produce in return. Would you mind taking it to him? Hopefully the bag isn't too heavy. It's full of root vegetables and the like for the animals, and they do eat quite a bit. Alright, so yeah, probably faster to just go this way. Because yeah, there's actually the Aetherite. Ah, such is trial and error. Jump over one fence, jump over another fence, and get over to Zell. You're back! And with something for you. And you brought me vegetables. My, you are helplessly industrious, aren't you? At this point, I should probably confess that I never actually mistook you for an aspiring breeder. I was joking. But to my complete shock, you did what I asked. So then I thought to myself, surely I will catch on if I try to hand over a little sack of shite, but... The point is, I got carried away. I apologize. Please, take this as payment for your efforts. So, yeah, it was a dirty trick, wasn't it? Alright. So yeah, we can probably go back to the Universalis to take on the next quest. And if you're wondering about that blue icon, don't worry, we will be getting to it. So let's head to the markets. And once we arrive, we'll head over this way. And find the person we want to speak to. There they are. There's Darlfort. So, yeah, he'll have our next quest here. So let's go ahead and take on the quest entitled Pour One Out. Darlfort seems troubled. Good morning, sir. I'm terribly sorry to ask this of a patient, but could you perchance find the time to make a delivery for me? Just yesterday, you see, a customer, not a regular, I believe he's visiting from outside the Crystarium, came asking after a particularly strong spirit that we're known to serve. At the time, we had just run out, but I offered that our supplier would have more ready today. He told me that that would be fine, but that he required it be delivered to his lodgings. Then he paid quite a handsome sum in advance, before consuming more than half a dozen pints of ale in short order and wandering off. Uh-oh. The whole experience was incredibly odd. I do, of course, fully intend to provide him with the alcohol that he paid for, but I also cannot help but be concerned by his behavior. It seems to me that someone ought to check on him. Lost between brewing and serving the customers, I can't seem to find time to slip away. Could I impose upon you to deliver the liquor in my stead and inquire as to whether the man is quite well? Edith should have the alcohol in question already at Musica Universalis, and as for our eccentric patron, you'll find him in the catenaries, assuming he gave me the correct information. Yes, we gotta get the potent liquor first. But yeah, it does really work that way because of how the map is laid out and how the design of the city is. Hello there, Edith. Here on behalf of Dolfort, I have the liquor right here. You'll be delivering this to a customer at the Castaneers, right? In that case, you do well to speak with the manager there. He's a helpful sort, should make sure that it gets to the right person. And that person is going to be over there. So we're gonna head over this way. Yeah, through the Quadrivium, and then into the Catenaries. Yeah, thankfully it's not that far of a walk. And here's the manager. How much will be of service? Well, give it to this man. Oh, I see. That guest is somewhat indisposed, I'm afraid to say. But I will ensure that the liquor is delivered into his hands if you will entrust it to me. Of course. Just make sure he doesn't get too intoxicated. As to his condition, it does seem to be rather severe. His cries echoed through the corridors late into the evening. Judging by what I have glimpsed, I fear that it is a mere matter of time ere he turns. Uh-oh. But you need not concern yourself with that. Rest assured that we have matters well in hand here. Hopefully he can save his life before he ODs on alcohol. Yeah, I don't want that kind of thing on my conscience. So let's go ahead and speak with Dolfort to complete this particular quest. Yeah, I just hope that we are, like I said, not regretting this decision later. Hey, Dolfort. A matter of time before he turns, you say? I suppose that does explain it. It's hardly a wonder that he turned to drink. I'm sure you would agree. In the throes of such agony and despair, what is a man to do? I will know not if it will bring him solace but in the end, but nevertheless I thank you for making the delivery. And so we get the 200,030 experience points, 679 gil, plus we obtained purple carrot juice, a hearty and healthful beverage prepared from the pulp of purple carrots and pixie apples. So yeah, this is a 2-stat item, but we'll be seeing 3-stat items later on. So how is everything? It looks like we have cleared out the Crystarium, all except for one thing. Yeah. Let's go find that guy with the blue icon. Yeah, we're gonna find him over at the Amaro launch, so let's make our way back there. And now let's go ahead and find this particular individual. We did this again. Yeah, it's actually closer to the rookery. Yeah, disregard what I just said. We still have to get to the guy, though. And that's not easy in of itself. So yeah, he's kind of above us right there. Yeah, it's so ridiculous, this map. Yeah, it'll just drive you nuts. Alright, so let's run outside. Yeah, where are you? There you are, Elith. We finally found you. So now, let's go and speak with him. Hadamabitsina, you're not from around here, are you? A fellow wandering soul? An eternal inhabitant of the road? I thought so. Elith's the name. My aspiration is to travel the whole wide world. Though, it is a fair bit smaller than it used to be, so as far as dreams go, it's a lot more realistic than you might think. But danger still lurks in every corner and around every bend. Even so, this sinner's got nerves of steel. He's a born explorer. Elith! There's no land too distant or place too forbidden, aye. But what is that I spy poking out of your pack? A log, if I'm not mistaken. Give it over if you would. And so... Ah, I thought so. A record of fantastic vistas and unforgettable sights. We're kindred spirits. A marrow of a feather. Excellent, excellent. 'Tis only right that I share with you such wondrous experiences as you have with me. A collection of amazing vistas I catalogue myself that I guarantee will rival the best you have ever seen. Norvrant may be a shadow of its former glory, but there's still joy and excitement to be found if you know where to look, my friend. So I implore you, look! 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 But not like Gordon Ramsay, right? Follow in my footsteps, savor every moment of the journey, and then, when you feel you have discovered every secret this one must offer, start again. I promise you won't be disappointed. And so now, courtesy of Erleth, just like the Ironhearts from back over in Eorzea, we get a Shadowbringers version of the Sightseeing log. So now we'll go ahead and drop back down to the more readily available Aetheryte. And then head on over back to the Docile Gate, and that is where we will proceed to close our first part of the stream. And then we'll come back later to do it all over again. Because yeah, we know where the next quest is, so with all the side quests now done in the Crystarium, it's time for us to return to the Ocular, and once there, we will proceed to get ready for what the Crystal Exarch wants us to do next, which is to see where we can find Alphanode and Alice. So, when I join you later this afternoon, we will indeed do exactly that. Hopefully YouTube gets its problems resolved and I can come back to you right as I go on the air, rather than having to wait for a number of minutes before I get the message that I'm officially on air. Let's hope they get that resolved, and I will see you guys later this afternoon for the continuation of Day 1 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Live. Thanks to everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, this is Matthew with Novara Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.